Hey, Battle Buddies and Healthy Heroes. My name is Susie, just an enthusiastic nerd bringing you LARP and fitness content. The next LARP event I am going to play my Dryad healer named Alda, and I want to give you a little bit of insight into how I deal with her. She is a barefisted caster. Now, that is a choice for me to not have any weapon skills, so she is an exercise in resource management. So what does it look like when all you do is heal people with earth magic, or brew a lot of potions, or concoct a lot of alchemy? This is how I manage all of her resources. It boils down to 3 tips. 1, books and notes. 2, potions, vials, and items. And 3, costuming and pouches. Let's take a look at how I organize my books, how I organize my items, and then what I do for my costume. If you want to be a craftsman, a scholar, a healer, a support person, a science nerd, these tips are for you. This is how I manage as my nerdiest, sciency, scholarly character, Kialdaloa. So this is my spell book, and it is an in-game book, but it has out-of-game notes in it. This is actually a photo album, but I find that very useful because the tags, the out-of-game tags for the items, can slide right in there. You have to carry this out-of-game tag to count when you cast your spells, but all these notes over here, those are in-game. Little rules reminders for myself. My Dryad is an alchemist, a potion brewer, and an earth scholar healer. So she's got all sorts of notes in here. Then there's her alchemy recipe book, out-of-game tag, in-game notes. I also really love using a photo album instead of an actual journal because when you get puzzles and ciphers and other things that plot gives you phys reps for, you can store them in their own little sleeve. So then when I have any sort of rules question or any sort of double checking about what level a spell is or how much resources I need to make something, I'm just in-game studying my book and I'm meeting the out-of-game necessary rules for carrying the tags. Here are my 3 levels of potion stores. This beautiful ceramic container, these little beat up boxes, they don't come to game with me. That's what Alda leaves at home. They just stay in this bag in the tub. Level 2, wrapped up in this little storage cloth. That travels with me. That goes in that pouch in my travel bag. And then on my person, that's when you have the belts that you wear. You got a belt on my arm, a belt around my waist. Those are my active on my person, smallest pouch. These go with me into battle. So here are the 3 levels. These go into battle. These travel with me. They get wrapped up into a travel pouch. And these are backups that stay at home. By the way, when you're organizing your potions and you need to take one out of the vial and this happens with your tag, you know what your best friend is? A bobby pin. You gotta hook it and twist it, my friends. Get it on there. Give it a twist. Out she comes! Woo! Now you have an empty vial. And your tag is free. If that wasn't enough vials for you, I also have a little secret in one of my active battle pouches. Empty vials. You never know when you're gonna get a monster that's oozing something, or you find like a poisonous pool and you need to take a sample because your character is a science nerd. Have an empty vial on you and plot will let you scoop something up and you can take it back and study it. Get the facts. Okay, confession, I'm not a very crafty person. I don't make my own weapons, I don't make my own costume, and I don't make my own accessories. there are 3 things that I think are worth it to invest for LARPing. I get good boots, I get good belts, and I might even get good pouches, because these things affect safety and mobility when you're out on a battlefield. Even as a healer, not a fighter, I don't have any weapon skills, I still want to have good mobility to run away from monsters, to get to the people who are down. So the way all of these items hang on me or work together in my costume, that's really important. So let me give you a couple tips. Let's talk about packets. Thankfully, Alliance no longer has any color rules. Whatever color packet you want to throw is fine. It can count as an arrow, as a magic spell, or as alchemy globe. So I only need 1 giant pouch for packets. Either get something on your hip or something over your shoulder. I've played Alda in both ways. This is an over the shoulder big packet pouch. It works fine. Or what I end up preferring is this big pouch on my hip. Now the tip I have for this, you need a good belt to hold up a pouch, and you need a pouch that has some structural integrity. Nothing too floppy and nothing too loose or thin up here. Leather belts, kidney belts, these are gonna be big and sturdy enough to hold your maximum packet pouch. My smaller pouch for magic items and other things that I need in battle, it's also possible to be a shoulder bag, if that's an option that feels good for you. But Alda tends to wear these leaves. She's a dryad, and so getting across your shoulder with those leaves on, it's not very reliable. So what I have found for this pouch works really well in my costume is if I give it also a spot on my belt. You can take a shoulder bag, make it into a belt bag if you loop it around. And then depending on how sturdy your belt is and how much tolerance you have for things being floppy, that's up to you. The amount of slack you give it, the amount you tie it up, that's your own call. Now, for all the potions I like to wear, here's a special tip. These things are a small investment. You can get them at like Dick's Sporting Goods or some other outdoorsy, adventure-y shop. They are ammo holders, and you can wear them on your person, and you can find something for 50 cents at a thrift store that you can put on top of it, and then instead of, you know, looking a little anachronistic with a buckle, you get a little something nice, and now it's got flavor. The one on my arm just ends up being covered by leaves when I'm being Alda. This is what she uses for channeling. And actually, when I'm playing her at this event, this is the first event that I'm going to be trying channeling, I'm going to wear it as a bracelet, and when you channel your earth magic, you have to actually hold what you're using, so I'm going to be able to just pop that into my hand, hold it like this, do some channeling with packets, and slide it back onto my wrist. And I'm still a barefisted caster. I've got the pouches I need. Oh, final tip for you is having one of your pouches be a dump pouch. So items that you've used, like potions or tags that you need to rip, have a specific place you can put those to know that that stuff is used up and gone in its own unique place. And then if you are the sort of person who loves to collect treasure, you're looting things, you're sweeping around the field and you're looting monsters, have an inbox, a treasure inbox pouch as well. So I'm going to have a pouch here for my spell book. I'm going to have a pouch back here for dumping stuff that I've already used. So I know the tags and potions that have been used up during battle are all in one spot and I can turn them in or throw them away later. Play some packet games in your pouch getup. Practice throwing packets and running around with your pouches and your belts on you, and you'll be all the more prepared. You'll figure out what you need. Enjoy your time out there as a healer. I also, of course, recommend laying out your costume and, you know, picking out which leaves you're gonna wear. Just dryad things.